evening or afternoon or whatever time of the day it is that you're watching this video, Mets fans. It is yours truly, Mr. Met, coming at you with another edition of Driving with Mr. Met. It is Thursday, the 2nd of March. Spring training is in full swing, and this afternoon the Metropolitans put on a slugfest, or engaged rather in a slugfest with the Miami Marlins. The game featured home runs by Yoenis Cespedes, his first of the spring, a bomb to dead center field. Also featured a home run by Neil Walker, his second of the spring, I believe, and a grand slam by Phillip Evans, the third baseman, with a nice glove. So, meaningless game, of course, but it's always nice to see home runs that are hit, especially when they're hit by our favorite Cuban left fielder, Yoenis Cespedes. So in addition to today's game with the Mets and the Marlins, which also featured some pretty sloppy pitching from the Mets bullpen, I also wanted to talk about the release by MLB today on Twitter of some rule changes that were officially announced. The one that everyone's heard the most about, and the one that I dislike the most, is the intentional walk rule. And I honestly don't know why it bothers me that much, but it really, really does. I think the statistic was something like there's an intentional walk on average 1 in every 4 games. So I guess that's 9 innings times 4, 36 innings. I think that was the stat that I read. I guess it doesn't happen that often, but for me it's just one of those rule changes that seems like a rule change just to change the rules. I mean, I get that they're trying to speed up the game, whatever, but it is what it is. I don't like it. It's not going to really have that much of an impact on anything. On the rare instance when a pitcher throwing an intentional ball misses the catcher, or doesn't throw it far enough outside and someone Vladdy Guerrero's it and puts the ball in play. It's cool that that can happen, I guess. Could have happened, but, you know, it's not going to happen anymore. I guess it's not the end of the world. The rule change I did want to mention and really wanted to focus on, there's sort of 2 separate items that relate to the replay rules. One of them is that they're going to try to enforce a 30-second time limit on managers' abilities to ask for a replay, and I think that's great. There were a couple of times last year where replays just weren't, the managers rather were given like a full minute or even longer to talk to their guy in the video room to make sure that it was challengeable or should be challenged. That's just not the way this is supposed to work. It's supposed to be, you know, a bang play, and, you know, it looked like it could have been, you know, the call could have gone either way. You can't allow the managers to have a full minute or longer to make up their mind about whether they want to, you know, challenge a call. I really like that rule, and I do hope that MLB enforces it. The other one that I thought was kind of interesting is also related to replay, and it has to do with how much time the truck in New York, or the crew in New York, is going to be allowed to review a play. And I heard that's going to be capped at 2 minutes. I think that's great as well, because again, last year there were instances where, I mean, we were going like 3-4 minutes, and we could audibly hear Keith Hernandez getting just irate about the fact that it was taking this long. I think that's a great rule change. I think it's a terrific adaptation and change to the way the replay rules are going to work. So those are my comments for today. If you have any opinions or thoughts that you'd like to share with me, you can always do so on Twitter. You can find me at Mr_Met, and you can always leave a comment below as well if you'd prefer. I will be back in touch with you guys early next week, or perhaps even tomorrow, now that I think of it, since Noah Syndergaard will be making his spring debut on the mound. So maybe I will get a video in tomorrow to give you my post-game thoughts of seeing Thor for the first time on the mound in 2017. So until that time may come, whether it be tomorrow or next Monday, this is Mr. Met, and as always, let's go Mets!